Alright guys, I'm gonna have to do a redo because I just tried to swipe up a notification, but then I'm just so frustrated about it because I didn't mean to tap on it. I was trying to swipe it up so I could continue making my YouTube video. You know what? Eventually, I'm just gonna turn off my YouTube notifications. Because every time it always taps. Every time. Every time I try to swipe it, I end up tapping on it. But I deleted it. And eventually I'm gonna turn off some of my notifications. But anyways, it is snowing outside. Me and Caesar are gonna show you how it looks outside. Yeah, it's snowing outside. Look at my backyard. Well, look at that squirrel. Oopsies. Yeah, it's snowing outside. I mean, it might not only be snowing in my neighborhood, it might be... Oh my gosh. I'm sorry about that, but anyways. It is snowing outside. And I'm gonna show, maybe we should go out front. Yeah, let's go out front. Just show you out front. Yep. Let's go out front. It's snowing outside. It is officially snowing outside. Yeah, it's not really much snow on the street, but it's just snowing outside. Yeah, this is out front. I'm so sorry about that. Anthony, I know it's challenging because your sister's screaming, but you can't be surprised because she does it every day. Well, maybe she screams because it makes her feel good. I don't even know. But it's not necessary, though. Yeah, maybe screaming makes her feel good. But I don't know. But anyways, it is snowing outside. And it might not be just snowing in my neighborhood, but it might be snowing in the suburbs. It might be snowing in Pike Creek. It might be snowing in Newark, Delaware. And it might be snowing in Hockessin. I mean, those are all three of the neighborhoods that I wish I could live in, but right now, I gotta stay in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware, because moving is a lot of work, and it might be expensive. It might be expensive to move out of the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware, and it might be expensive to move to Newark, Delaware, because moving really is a lot of work, and it is because there are a lot of affordable houses in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware. That's probably why a lot of parents would prefer to live in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah, but I'm acting like this is my parents' forever house, but this isn't my parents' forever house. This is my parents' starter home. And after this home, she literally told me that her next house will not be anywhere in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware, and it'll be in the suburbs. Yeah, that's what my parents said. But yeah, she said she's not going to live in this house forever. And in the future, we're going to move. And the next house won't be anywhere in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware. And it'll be somewhere in the suburbs. And if I stop complaining about where I live, then my wish might come true. By the time I get to 8th grade, I might not be still living in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware anymore. And I might be living in the suburbs while I'm in 8th grade. But if I keep complaining, then I might have to live in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware even longer until I could get my own place. And I don't want that to happen because I don't like living in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware right now. But if I stop complaining about where I live, then it'll be pretty easy for me to get a better house than the house that I live in right now. But if I keep complaining about where I live, then it'll mess me up from getting what I want. And I might have to stay in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware forever, for a very long time. But yeah, I know it might not be everybody's problem. Look, I know it's not everybody's problem that I don't like living in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware. And I'm not saying it is everybody's problem that I don't like living within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware. I'm just saying that I just want my family and friends to know I don't like it. And I just want my friends that live in Newark, Delaware to know that maybe I might move to the new, I might be new to the neighborhood. And I might be, okay, so, oh my gosh. Look, Anthony, just try to work through it because maybe screaming just makes your sister feel good. Maybe screaming makes her feel good. But it's not necessary, but just try to work through it. Just try to ignore it. All right. And I just want my, all right. I just want my friends that live in Newark, Delaware to know that one day I might be new to living in their neighborhood. And I might be taking the same bus as them. Because there is a bus stop in Newark, Delaware. There is a bus stop in Newark, Delaware that takes kids to Skyline Middle School. And I just want my friends that live in Newark, Delaware to know that one day I might be new to their neighborhood. And I might take that bus one day. And I'm not going to live within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware forever. And but right now, I'm going to try to be grateful for how I live because I have a good life. I have a house with my own bedroom. My house has more than one bathrooms. And to be honest, my house has a fabulous inside. But I just don't like where I live because I live within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware. Oh my gosh. Anthony, just ignore it. Just try to ignore it. Because maybe screaming and all that stuff, maybe screaming makes your sister feel good. Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think. Maybe screaming makes her feel good. But I'm gonna try to ignore it. And just try to get make this video. Alright. So, yeah. My house has a fabulous inside. But I just don't like it because I just don't like I just don't like my house because I live in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware. But just because I live in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware, that doesn't mean that I have a bad life. I have a good life. There are plenty of people that live in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware that have a good life. And I'm a person that lives in the city limits, within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware, that has a good life. But yeah, I'm gonna try my best to stop always complaining about where I live and be grateful for how I live because I have a good life. And complaining about where I live all the time, I'm probably being ornery. And I don't want to be an ornery kid. Yeah, I don't want to be known as an ornery kid. And my grandfather told me that complaining about where I live all the time, that's being ornery. And I don't want to be an ornery kid. So from now on, I'm going to try my very best to stop always complaining about where I live and be grateful for how I live because I have a good life. Just because I live within the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware, that does not mean that I have a bad life. My house is fabulous. Yeah. And I just want my friends in Newark, Delaware to know that, yeah, I just want my friends that live in Newark, Delaware to know that one day I might be new to their neighborhood. And one day I might take the same bus as them because there is a bus stop in Newark, Delaware that takes kids to Skyline Middle School in Pike Creek. And Skyline Middle School is located in Pike Creek, Delaware. Yeah, there is a bus stop in Newark, Delaware. There is a bus stop in Newark, Delaware that takes kids to Skyline Middle School. And there's a bus that picks the kids up from the bus stop that's in Newark, Delaware. I'm so excuse me. I apologize. Sorry, I had coughs. Excuse me about that. I apologize. Anyways, there is a bus stop in Newark, Delaware, and there is a bus that picks up the kids from the bus stop in Newark, Delaware, and takes kids to the school that's in Skyline in Pike Creek, Delaware. And yeah, one day I'm probably going to be new to that neighborhood in Newark, Delaware. Meadowood. I believe it's called. I think it's called Meadowwood, Newark, Delaware. And one day I might live in that neighborhood one day, and I might be new to that neighborhood, and I might take and one day I might take the bus that goes to Newark, Delaware. One day I might end up taking that bus, and I might be at that bus stop in Newark, Delaware. But yeah, I just know that I'm not going to be living in the city limits of Wilmington, Delaware forever, but yeah. And I'm not going to be ornery. And yeah, I don't want to be an ornery kid. So I'm going to stop complaining about where I live and be grateful for how I live, because I have a good life. And I don't want to be ornery, because my grandfather told me that me complaining about where I live all the time, that's being ornery. And I'm not going to be ornery, so I'm not going to keep complaining about where I live. And I'm going to be grateful for how I live, because I have a good life. And that way, I won't be ornery. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. I guess I'm going to end the blog there. It is snowing outside. And yeah, it might be snowing in all states. I wonder what states it might be snowing in, but yeah. It is, there's more snow, and some kids might be upset that there's more snow, but I'm excited that there's more snow. And I'm excited that there's more snow. I'm not upset about it. But yeah, I'm excited that there's more snow. All right, guys. I'm going to end the blog there. I guess this would be considered day 9 of the interview, maybe. All right. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a great, I hope my family and friends enjoy their day. All right, yeah, see you guys. All right.